We hop in to our first match of this best of three, spawning up here in the top position, representing the dragon. Give it up for Alpha X's ZOUN. And his opponent down here in the bottom. He's a lovely gentleman, a really hard fighter. And he wants to take this one, representing Good Game Gaming. He is Patience. So a little bit of old master versus the new student. The young upstart in ZOUN, who battled Zest in the finals of a GSL Super Tournament just very recently. Versus a guy who decimated GSL at a couple of points in his career. Looks like Patience getting him quite a bit of respect in that, and you can see these guys kind of just talking it out. Maybe giving some life advice. Who knows? There it is for just a couple of seconds for y'all. I know what that one means. He's laughing. But you know, kind of just taking a look at these couple of different build orders. Patience just being a little bit of a nuisance, dropping this pylon so that the gas income is just barely delayed by just a second. And that may not seem like the biggest of deals, but this is the mirror matchup where absolute seconds count. You know, if you don't drop that shield battery a second before those adepts come in, you're dead. If you don't have your blink a second before the battle begins, you're dead. If you go up against Patience and you don't have a game plan, you're dead. That has nothing to do with seconds. I just wanted to bring it up. But we do see both players going for Twilight Council. It looks like Patience is going to be the aggressor of this series, dropping down that resupply pylon. Okay, ZOUN. Wait a second, guys. Come on. They were just giving each other respect a second ago. We see that first big adept shade in. The shield battery will go down in time, but that's actually enough adepts to just shut that down. The stalkers, though, will be enough to clean this up eventually. Just gotta make sure that you don't lose too many probes in the process and that you don't overextend and lose a lot of that income. And we do see on the other side, ZOUN does get in himself. So very mirrored matchup. The only difference is one extra probe going down and getting out of there with the adept. A little bit in ZOUN's favor in that regard. But now Patience going up to that robo facility. We don't see one being dropped by ZOUN, and the wall is open. He's chasing it down, but he knows what is there he can do. No Oracle. No robo. No chance in the heck he defends this. And so the only other option is attack. Force field down, going to just try and buy himself a little bit of time. That gateway will fall. That is a given. But by the time it does, The observer should be out. Patience. My man. Okay, yeah, that observer should get out. These guys, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm definitely thinking that it's not the nicest of things to say. There you go. GG is called. Not super climactic there, but definitely not anticlimactic. Short, sweet, and to the point. Oh my goodness, what was that? I agree with that. PvP is definitely the weirdest one there is. You know what? Speaking of weirdos, we got this guy down here spawning in for Good Game Gaming. He is a weirdo because he plays Protoss. He has patience. And his opponent hanging out in the top, looking to out-weird the weirdo in that game. Give it up for ZOUN and Alpha X. Yes, Ice, but you're a weirdo for other reasons, man. I've seen your YouTube videos. Putting out League of Legends. Man, I swear. So now for these guys, obviously we're going to see a little bit of a mirror as they get the walls down. Little bit of a difference. It looks like they're kind of talking it over, talking about positioning. Romanticide is one of those maps that early aggression won't be rewarded as much. I think this is one of those things that you just gotta understand. You're not really that close to your opponent as you might think. That's okay, Zeiss. You put out good content no matter what you put out. You're doing good, man. You also work too hard. You need to go down to Port Dixon and get yourself a little bit of a vacation. A little bit of a proxy there. So changing things up now. We should, from what ZOUN is going for, I think that he is going to be going for a Twilight Council. Maybe Blink off the back of this. Cancels the pylon here. That was pretty much just to keep the wall open in case he wanted to send some adepts in. But yeah, this gets scouted. Alright, so Oracle. Now that this is scouted, it makes the defense so much easier because you just have to get the shield battery. You can get that additional gateway if you want. And to be honest, you know, we do have 3 gateways, maybe a 4th to come up pretty soon. I don't see any additional tech or any chance of expansion either. So ZOUN's just going to be looking to close out this game. Also, come on, man. I feel like when they do this on purpose, they're trolling the stream really, really hard. Because he knows that Stargate's there. Force field goes down, gonna keep the Stalkers outside of the main base. He doesn't even need to keep the Nexus alive. Essentially, he can cancel that without being too worried. And the reason for that is because ZOUN doesn't have an expansion of his own. So this is pretty much just buying time for patience. He already has one Immortal at the top of the ramp, and these Stalkers don't have Blink or even a Twilight Council. So focus firing down the wrong thing, I think. He's trying to get the Immortal in the end there, but he's taking so much damage on these Stalkers. Losing the base, that's not a cancel, that's a kill. That might be a problem. He saves the shield battery, though. And that is going to be the nail in the coffin for Patience, actually. That's GG. I mean, yes, these Adepts are going to try and shade their way forward, but you have a 7 supply difference lead. Your Stalker count has plummeted, and now there's Immortals on the field with the Warp Prism, so the counterattack is just going to be deadly. Behind this, look at the tech. He's still doubling down on the Twilight Council. You can't do that. You just can't, my man. Blink can be very good. It can build your games up. It can make your dreams be more than dreams. But once there are Immortals, once there are like observers and more and more gateways, you have to transition into the robo facility. I know I sound like a kind of a Debbie Downer for ZOUN. Obviously, if he does have good micro and get some good pickoffs, then that's going to be his saving grace. But look at that, even getting Blink killed off. Oh my goodness, denied. The Adept's going to be coming in, getting what little damage they can done, but some good force field's going to keep most of the probes alive. And now the Immortals just raining hellfire on these units, getting some of those very expensive gas sentries. How many probes have died in this game? They didn't use game heart, so that's why it's not showing. But 5 and 4. Not bad, not bad. I think this is Patience, though. Going to be looking for a killing blow. Since, remember, all it is Stalkers versus 2 Immortals and a ton of Adepts. It's kind of funny that he revelated that Observer and he doesn't really have anything to shoot up. But here we go. 3 Immortals. The probes are forced to be pulled. And with this last-ditch effort to survive, the shield battery overcharged very late on the pull, and that is going to be it. Patience takes the series 2-0.